Sometimes to solve a very present, very modern crisis, you've got to look to the past. Today, we're going to dig into an ancient framework that might just reframe our entire connection to the natural world, and maybe, just maybe, offer a path toward finding some real balance. It's a question we're all asking ourselves, isn't it? You see it in the headlines, you feel it in the weird weather. The signs are pretty much everywhere that the way we're doing things just isn't working. So, the big question is, where do we even start to look for answers? Now, a lot of folks are pinning their hopes on some future tech breakthrough. But what if there's another path, one that leads us back in time, to wisdom traditions that saw the relationship between humans and nature not as a resource to be used, but as a deep, profound connection? And that's the path we're going down today. All right, so let's dive right in. We're going to be talking about a core concept from Hindu philosophy called Panchtatva. And believe me, this is way more than just some ancient idea. It's a whole new lens for seeing the world and, more importantly, our place in it. So, Panchtatva. It literally translates to the five great elements or the five truths. But here's the key idea, the real mind bender. According to this philosophy, these elements aren't just stuff out there. They are the fundamental building blocks of everything, from the most distant star all the way down to you and me. So here they are, the five sacred elements. We have Prithvi, which is earth, then Jal, or water, Agi, that's fire, Vayu, which is air, and finally there's Akash, which you can think of as ether or space. Each one of these represents a core aspect of our reality. Okay, so let's actually break these down one by one. We're going to explore what each element really stands for, and more importantly, how looking at them through this ancient lens can shine a totally new light on some of our biggest modern problems. So we're going to start with the most solid, the most tangible one of the bunch, Prithvi, the earth. And we're not just talking about dirt and rocks here. Think of it as our foundation, our home, the very ground that supports us with every single step we take. And just listen to the language here. This is not about ownership. It's not about resources to be managed. It's about family. The earth is framed as a mother, as a nurturer. That perspective shift changes everything, doesn't it? It moves a relationship to one of deep respect and care. And this is where that ancient wisdom becomes incredibly practical. That whole idea of earth as our stable, life-giving foundation, well, that translates directly into our modern need for sustainable land use, for conservation, and for that simple but really powerful idea of just treading lightly on the planet that supports us all. Okay, so from the solid, we move to the fluid. Let's take a look at the second element, Jal, or water. This is all about flow, adaptability, and really life itself. In this ancient verse, water is so much more than just H2O. It's talked about as a source of happiness, of nourishment, and even of vision or clarity. It's not just a passive thing. It's seen as an active, life-giving force. And the connection to our world today, it's crystal clear, right? Water's ancient role as a purifier translates directly into the modern fight for clean, accessible water for everyone, and the absolutely critical need to protect our rivers and oceans from pollution. All right, from earth and water, let's turn to the element of energy and transformation, Agni, or fire. Notice how fire is talked about here. It's not just heat and light. It's being asked to be a guide, a purifying force that leads us down the right path. It's seen as having this ethical, transformative power. So how does this ancient view of fire connect to our world? Well, it speaks directly to our entire relationship with energy. It's calling for a transformation, not just in where we get our power, but in our whole mindset. A shift towards responsible, renewable sources and innovation that isn't just powerful, but also ethical. Next up, we have the element that we can't see, but literally can't live a minute without. Vayu, the air or wind. Now this is fascinating. Air is called the knot of life, the very thing that ties us to existence. It's not just the stuff filling our lungs. It's seen as the source of our vitality, our life force, and even our intelligence. The connection here is probably the most direct of all. When you see air as the essential life force, the modern need for clean air becomes completely undeniable. It's about our health, right now, and the urgent need to fight pollution for ourselves and for every ecosystem on the planet. And finally, we get to the most subtle, the most all-encompassing element of them all, Akash, which is ether or space.
This verse gives us such a beautiful metaphor. Akash, that vastness of the sky, is like the ultimate medium of connection. Just like water cycles between the sky and the sea, Akash is the context that connects everything, from the physical to the spiritual.
And this idea of space being about connection has so many layers for us today. It applies to the physical space of our atmosphere, arguing for its preservation. It extends out to the peaceful use of outer space. And it also relates to our own inner space, the need to foster mental clarity and consciousness in our chaotic lives. So, we've looked at all 5 elements on their own. Now, let's bring it all back together. What does this ancient wisdom actually look like as a single, practical approach for today? What the wisdom of Panchtatva gives us is this surprisingly clear, holistic framework. It's like a 5-point guide for living right. Nurture the earth, protect our water, use energy responsibly, preserve clean air, and respect space, both outside and inside. It's a really powerful blueprint for living in harmony with our world. And all of this brings us to the biggest question of all. What does this ancient framework actually mean for each of us, right here, right now? I mean, really think about it. If we stop seeing earth, water, fire, air, and space as just resources to be used, and instead see them as the sacred, fundamental building blocks of the universe and of our own bodies, well, how does that change our place in the world? How does it shift our responsibilities? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.